Hi, Bill Henshaw here again. More current events. Some of you again may have read on the internet that the Department of Justice just filed a case against Edward Snowden, he of WikiLeaks. And this is a shout out, by the way, also to Julian Assange. And at the moment, they apparently can't return him to the United States. He just applied to France for, to be taken in there. I can't think of the word for it right now, but he's applied for sanctuary. So we don't know. The one thing he was quoted as saying was he would come back if and only if he got a quote unquote fair trial. Now the problem with that, people, if you don't already know, is that means the meanings of the fair trial is a whole hell of a lot different in Washington D.C. than it is to you and I. What we think is a fair trial is you get a jury of your peers, and this would be, in my view, lawful de jure just sanguinis state citizens who can rule on the facts and the law. That's the way it was originally decided. It goes all the way back to sections 24, 34, and 42 of the Magna Carta, 1215. Members of the Constitution were well aware of all of that. Because without that, if you have a jury that can't nullify anything, what you really have is not a Republican form of government under Article 4, Section 4 that we're supposed to be guaranteed to have. You have a democracy, which I'm fond of calling three wolves and two sheep voting on what's for dinner, or even worse, a lynch mob rule. And that's what we have now. If you can't go in there and challenge things, and this in a government where nobody, not to mention us state citizens, nobody is represented, especially in Congress, except for the damn corporations. They're running everything there for their benefit, the New York banksters, you name it. We don't have a voice there at all. And for example, in California, and I've sent letters to representatives out here, including the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, asking her, given the fact that in California with 40 million people, and we have 50 representatives, that means that your your base of operations there includes 800,000 in your district. How the hell do you possibly know what these people are thinking and what they want you to do or not to do? There's no meaningful interchange at all there. Didn't get a reply back. And that, by the way, is a big issue. That goes to one of my biggest issues I have, which is racial representation under Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3, where the Constitution says the maximum amount of inhabitants to representatives is 30,000 to 1. Now, overall, it's closer to 900,000 to 1 across the nation, but 800,000 to 1 in California. And that can't be anywhere consistent with the Republican form of government. It just can't. Especially when Congress thinks it has virtually unlimited powers, whether it be the Interstate Commerce Clause, whether it be war powers, whether it be powers over territories under Article 4, Section 3. I mean, there's basically nothing that they can't do. And it's to the point, as I mentioned before in my videos, when I was in that jail cell in South Carolina, we had a situation arise in North Carolina where this transgender entity wanted to sue the state of North Carolina because it couldn't select its own public bathroom. And the serious statement was made by the attorneys at the time, and I don't think this case has gotten into court yet, but that taking a crap in a publicly government-funded bathroom affected interstate commerce. If that's the case, what the hell is it that we do that doesn't affect interstate commerce? And it gets even better, people, because I can prove, and if you get my modestly priced constitutional defense document packets, you will see I've got an 80-page brief in here on admission of new states. 80 pages, unopposed. There are no states. Can you tell me where the venue would be for Congress' interstate commerce clause powers? I'd love to see it. It is not there. By the way, that's not an issue that your attorney is ever going to argue for you, especially the public pretender. Don't lose any sleep time waiting for that to happen. But that's a hell of an issue. So in any case, it's just so messy with this situation that, even if Snowden comes back, he's not going to get anything remotely resembling the trial that we should be seeing. If he did, and I'm throwing it out there to both Snowden and Julian Assange, contact me because we can make some affirmative defenses there even if you are one of the boys there in Langley, the CIA, and I don't know in either case that's for certain, and even if you had a written agreement, as they're claiming you did, and you had to submit your manuscripts and books and things before it got published, that may not matter because if you're inserting rights secured by the Constitution and exposing acts of treason by government agents, I would have a hard time sitting on a jury even if the court had jurisdiction to convict you of anything. I mean, that's how it should work. Probably really should work that way in the armed services too, which is a little bit different situation. But you can be damn sure there's a lot of people over in the Vietnam War 40 years ago that wondered why the hell they were there and how they got there. And if I had known then what I know now, instead of being so stupid at the age of 19 to join the Marine Corps, which is what I did, I would have been taking the case to the U.S. Supreme Court trying to get that quote-unquote war overturned, as it should have been. By the way, the funny part about that is that, yeah, I was in the Marine Corps. I got the shortest tour of duty in the history of the Marines, 3 hours. And my mom put a curse on the Marine Corps, my beloved mom, and everybody laughed and said, well, there's nothing you can do. He's going to Paris Island. And the call to come get me was so quick to my parents, they hadn't got back from taking me yet. Of course, this is long before we had cell phones and things. So 3 hours, I was back home and never had to deal with any of that. And ever since she became endearingly known as the Wicked Witch of the West, being able to do something like what she did. So anyway, it's just a matter of perspective and knowing. And of course, the reason I didn't know was they didn't teach me a damn thing in school, and they haven't taught you either about that. So you don't know what the government can do and what it can't. It thinks it has unlimited powers. I've got news for you people in Washington, D.C., my former hometown. That ain't true. So hopefully if we get trials in the cases of Snowden or Assange, we'll get some real people in there to testify before a jury who know the law, understand the law, and can make the case so the jurors will understand it and not convict anybody. And at least get hung juries, if not get outright acquittals. So that said, please feel free to check in with me. And oh, by the way, remember to like my videos and to send me information. Send me an email at youwinningcourt@gmail.com. Tell your friends and subscribe. Thank you.